Step 2. Review player characters, existing NPCs, and active factions. Wait, why should you review the player characters? You know the player characters. They even send backstories. Good question. By reviewing the player characters at the start of your prepping process, you can see if there are any PC hooks or loose ends that can be tied into the next session. For example, if the party's rogue was looking for her long-lost uncle who turned to a life of crime, maybe that uncle can be included in this session as one of the bandits that the party encounters. Or perhaps, if your paladin has been having a crisis of faith, maybe you could add a chapel dedicated to their god in the nearest town. Using the PC's narratives can lead to wonderful character development scenes. Scenes you might have missed if you didn't focus on the player characters. You can also use this perspective when you create scenes for the upcoming session to ensure that the player characters can contribute to the session in a meaningful way. Running a series of magical riddles involving ancient text and arcane knowledge might be a bit boring for a group with only one magic user. But if you include challenges that are geared toward martial proficiencies as well, all of the characters can have a chance to shine. This approach aims to inspire you to add more elements that your players will be able to interact with. After you review the player characters, you should take a look at previously established NPCs that are connected to the current plotline. You want to keep those NPCs in mind, so you can look for opportunities to use them again. Reusing existing NPCs that the players already know helps you maintain a consistent setting. As with player characters, keep in mind the NPC's motive, current status, and plans. And remember that maintaining a cast of recurring non-player characters gives the players an opportunity to develop meaningful relationships over time. This makes social interactions much more engaging. Once you're done reviewing the non-player characters, it's time to review any factions that are relevant to the current plotline. How does this step help you? Well, if you assign an NPC to a faction, this step reminds you of their motivation, goals, and worldview. This way you will be able to better plan ahead the actions of these NPCs when you construct scenes later on. It's easy to keep tabs on factions by paying attention to their motivation, current status, and plans, because these elements usually don't change much over time. If you feel like you need a reminder on factions, jump back to the world building chapter. In summary, thinking about existing NPCs and factions in relation to the player characters within the context of the next session helps you create interesting possibilities with little effort.